Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario World. In the last part we completed Cookie Island and beat the sunken ship, which I forgot to mention is actually theorized to be one of the warship levels from Mario 3. And now we're here in the Valley of Bowser, what is technically the final world of the game, and we're gonna do some stuff in it. That was a rather long intro, all things considered. Anyway, Valley of Bowser 1 is, well, most of the Valley of Bowser levels, even though they aren't labeled as such, are actually underground levels, which makes sense because we're, you know, underground. Also, I did not know that these giant Monty Moles could hit you even when you're on Yoshi. Them and the red Wigglers have that same thing in common. The big thing with this level is that it's more of a maze than anything else. The exit's always in the same place, thankfully. It's not like certain other games where they have randomized exits and mazes. To get to it, you just have to find this massive blue blocks, have him destroy them, and once you see that little signpost, you're in the clear. In fact, that's one thing I don't think I've actually mentioned. When you see the signpost that has the arrow on it, you're pretty much right near the end of the level. And red level. I think I mentioned it earlier, but when you have a gigantic dot instead of the normal-sized ones, that means that the level's a bit longer. And this is also probably one of the more god-dang-it hidden exits in the game. And also, I am really being reckless right now, because I forget that the bats actually technically are on the ceiling up there, and that was an Omni Shell that I just crushed right there. Those are the ones that allow you to get every ability with Yoshi. Have you guys ever, actually, seeing myself do that, have you guys ever just done that when you have nothing to do in a game, where you're just, if you have a movement you can do, like to move your head up and down or duck, have you ever just done it to the music when you have nothing else to do? I'm guessing a lot of you have, but it just helps to know I'm not the only one. Now if you have Yoshi, this block here actually has something very special. Also, there's a cape feather in the very top left up here, which I think I'm standing on. They have wings. You could have encountered this earlier, but this takes you to a blue Yoshi minigame. Green Yoshi is not the only one in the game, but we'll get more into that next part. But essentially, blue Yoshi can fly! And as long as he has a shell in his mouth, he can do the blue shell ability. I'll get more into that next part, but this is a little minigame that technically counts as actually getting the exit. So with that, we've technically beaten the level. However, we still have an alternate exit, and I do want to show the main exit just in case, because I'm always paranoid about whether or not that counts. And sadly, I have to leave my blue Yoshi behind because just that slight increase in my sprite's height can kill me here, because this is a giant crusher. You'll probably die here your first time at least once. Probably not many times more than once, though. Now, I do have to wonder, what kind of stuff is happening in nature to have this giant yellow brick just moving up and down? What kind of tectonic plate movement is happening right now? Oh, and by the way, I should mention, both the exits are past this, so, yeah, you're going to have to go through this like minute, maybe minute and a half long sequence 2 times. And that's if you don't die, mind you. Luckily, the section after this is rather short, all things considered. Yeah! Not much to talk about in a little Crusher sequence. If it was something like Mega Man, I'd probably have something to talk about, because I just know more about Mega Man than I know anything else, really, aside from maybe Zelda. Oh, thank God we're finally out of there. The hidden exit is actually the first one that we can encounter, technically, and you just have to fly right up here. How you're supposed to be able to know you're able to do that, I don't know. Also, I question why that pit's there, unless you can somehow lose the key idiotically. And that's the alternate exit that leads to the Valley Fortress. We'll be going there rather soon, but just in case, because I'm paranoid, I'm going to show off the main exit. Right where we just went up above the ceiling, we just have to go pretty much straight to the right. Although you want to run faster because this yellow brick will try to crush you against the ceiling if you're not fast enough. And there's the main exit. I always do that because I'm always paranoid about whether or not the ocean wings count. I think it does, but I just want to be sure. And now it's time for the Valet Fortress, which is easily my least favorite fortress in the game. Thankfully, though, it is the last one. And why? Because we got a lot of these things. I think I actually forgot to mention this last part. But if you're directly in the middle of one of them when they actually fall down on top of you, it'll actually instantly kill you because it's technically hitting you twice, though it also counts as crushing because they have a solid tip and such. And you can just cheese your way past this section with the cape. And now we have this section, which is easily the section that I died on the most my first playthrough because these things go up and down and all around really quickly. Be sure to time your jumps here effectively, otherwise you're probably going to get hit, if not die. Same here, because lava is death. Has there ever been a game, actually, where lava wasn't instant death? And I think I brought this up earlier, actually, aside from maybe Metroid? I guess Sonic 1, but when you don't have ring... Oh, well, Sonic in general, actually, because when you don't have rings, though, everything's instant death. Food for thought, I suppose. Food for thought. Minecraft! There's one. That just really hurts, though. Anyway, time for the final Reznor fight, until New Super Mario Bros. 2, actually, on the 3DS. We didn't see this guy again for a while. And for good reason, he's kind of pathetic. Oh, Reznor, you will not be missed at all. And with the Valley Fortress beat, I actually get what is technically the first entrance to the final level, the back door. This is literally a back door into Bowser's Castle. It leads you to the section immediately before the final boss. Why he put that there, I'm not sure. And I'll only use that if I end up dying before the checkpoint in the actual final level. And we get the return of these green sphere things, which we only saw for like less than a second, I believe, even. No, actually, we saw them for like a good 20 seconds, I think. Anyway, this ghost house has easily the most pain in the ass alternate exit to get. Because you need to run fast here and get past all these coins, because all the other doors, aside from this last one, are the ways to the main exit. In here, however, you have this P-switch, which you need to take with you. Do not activate it immediately. And you can actually technically fly to get to the key right there. I've seen people do it. You can fly your way perfectly in there, but it's much harder to do. And I tried doing that for like half a minute. But what you're supposed to do is use this coin snake, which I brought up in like, what, part 2? And try to maneuver it into the hole immediately. You either want to aim directly to where the hole is, or right above it, because then you can, if you have the cape, you can just kind of float your way in there. And then just mash the jump button to get in there. And we got it. And that's the alternate exit, which leads right to Larry's castle. Second to last castle in the game, but I'm doing all the other places first. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, all the other doors lead to the main exit. Like so. And that was the Valley Ghost House. Nothing too hard. In fact, I think it's actually the shortest ghost house in the game, but that alternate exit can be a bit painful. And now it's time for Valley of Bowser 3. Which one is this? This is the athletic level. Okay, then. This one is tricky. The main gimmick with it is, you see all these platforms that have numbers on them. That is pretty much the amount of seconds you can stand on them for before they plummet to the bottomless pit below you. Needless to say, you don't want to be on them when they do that. So you just need to precise platform your way through this entire section and not fall and die. Mind you, it's a Mario game, that should be a given. Though actually, I think this is actually one of my favorite levels in the entire world, just because it actually is rather fun. But I do have to question, what are these platforms made out of? Because they're just essentially floating dirt with some sort of built-in clock. And random bonsai bill. Actually, thinking about that, didn't Game Theory recently prove that the bullet bills and the bonsai bills aren't lethal at all? And didn't I bring that up earlier? I can't remember. A bullet exploded. Okay then. And that never made sense to me, how certain enemies die to a spin jump by exploding. With bombs it makes sense, but why T-Rexes? Do Mario's feet just cause spontaneous combustion? Ugh. Anyway, this is probably going to be our last bonus game in the, well, game. Probably there's the keyword, I'm not sure. And I screwed this up royally, but I still got 4 lives. I wonder, can you guys hear that? That's actually my cat. You might not be able to hear that, but she's meowing over by my door. Anyway, Valley Bowser 4. This is actually one of the harder alternate exits to get. If only because you need Yoshi for it. However, if you have Yoshi already, you have to kill him by sending him into the lava. Yeah, you guys can probably hear that. Pretty much send Yoshi into lava, all Terminator 2 style, and then he magically reappears up here. Oh, if only Schwarzenegger could do that. And, nice little glitch here. If you spin jump and start hitting the blocks, then land right back on Yoshi, you'll act as if you're still in spin jump, and you'll still, destroy the blocks. This is also the last, job we'll see Charge and Chuck doing until Mario 3D World. Guess the economy in the Mario world just is that bad. Actually, wasn't there a Game Theory video or something like that about how much the Mario coins are actually worth? I know they're not worth much, but I haven't watched much of Game Theory in the recent times, though. Oh, look at that slowdown. Anyway, there's the main exit, but the alternate exit requires you to use Yoshi's tongue to get the key. Also, if you time it just correctly, you can actually have Yoshi spit out the key, and if you time it even more perfectly, you can actually elongate the spitting out sound ridiculously. And here we got the final Star Road. With this, you can probably tell what we're going to be doing next part. But we have to go get that main exit first, so let's get that. I'll admit, I was expecting not to hit that. Actually, the Star Road up there leads to the 10-minute runs, because it actually goes right to the castle. But now it's time for the final castle in the game that's not the final castle. Larry's Castle, which is another block snake level. And this one's much harder, if only because of the way that these wrecking balls, mace thing... What are these things, seriously? They look like maces, but they act more like wrecking balls. Food for thought, I suppose. And this one actually lasts quite a bit longer than the other one, I believe, by a good 10 to 20 seconds, but I'm not sure the exact measurements. Yeah. Not much to say about this part of the section, honestly. As long as you keep yourself on this snake, you should do well. Though I hate it when games do this. They make you think you're gonna be right in front of the goal, but nope, you have to go an entire different detour. RPGs are fans of that, but I'm okay with it in those because those are 20+ hours. I can beat this game for a day if I try hard enough. Well, it's not that hard, actually. I think there actually might be another door below that, but I forgot. Because I think you can actually skip this room entirely. And we got more Magic Koopas! And more pencils. Obviously, if you didn't have the cape, the Magic Koopas would be the only way you can get past the yellow blocks. But I have a cape. And now I don't. Although it took me until this playthrough to actually realize, wait a minute, they actually made you get a cape before every boss fight. Nintendo, I think you guys made the game a bit too easy for us there. Then again, this game's a bit easy without being too easy. Mario, DS... I had to think about which one I was talking about for a second there. And final Koopaling is a repeat of the very first one with fireballs. How anticlimactic. And Mario once again gets jiggy with it. And with that, we've cleared all 7 castles of the Koopalings, and rescued all of Yoshi's friends, which was a part of the plot that I forgot to mention, actually. We're saving Yoshi's friends from all the Koopalings. Pick things up and put them down. Mario has defeated Larry Koopa in Castle number 7. All that is left is Bowser's Castle, where Princess Toadstool is being held. Can Mario rescue her and restore peace to Dinosaur Land? What is with the spacing there, Nintendo? But, before we go to Bowser himself, we still have to do the Star World. And anything beyond that. So, with that, I'm going to have to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Play Super Mario World, we'll be actually heading towards, we're going to be doing the entire Star World. Because this place is actually rather short, all things considered. See you guys then! By the way, I don't think I mentioned it at this point, but the theme here is a remix of the Star theme.